Question number 6. Table 1 shows the categories for body mass index of a group of male workers in a company. The body mass index is normally distributed. Okay, so this is the body mass index and this is the different category. It is given that 44% of the workers are categorized as either underweight or normal weight. So 44% is underweight or normal weight. So underweight, normal weight is here and it's 44%. So the probability will be 0.44. Okay, 44 over 100. So it's 0.44. While 12% were categorized as obese. Okay, obese is here, this one here. The probability is 12%, so it's 0.12. Okay, find the value, it is found that 1 out of n, so this is another probability, 1 over n workers were in the underweight category. Underweight is here. So the probability of this is 1 over n. Okay, find the value of n. So this one they already said is normally distributed, right? So that means you know it's normal distribution. So we can do in this way. So we have to find what is the mean and standard deviation, because they never gave us that information. So we have to use based on the probability that is given. So we can see that the first one they said 0.44. 0.44 is underweight or normal, right? So normal is here from 18.5 to 25, and then underweight is less than 18.5. So what can we say? We can say that the probability of the weight less than 25, correct? The 44%, the 0.44 represents normal weight and also underweight. Underweight is less than 18.5. So that means anything less than 25, that means from this number onwards, smaller than 25, will represent the 0.44. Okay, so this, 0.44. Okay, so we convert this to become Z, standard normal distribution. You get 25 minus the mean over standard deviation equals 0.44. So you see the sign is actually less than, right? You see here, less than. So what does that mean? That means if I convert it to become a standard normal distribution, here is the middle, this is 0. So 0.44 is the area, correct? But because 0.44 haven't reached more than 0.5, so it's not more than half of the bell shape. Okay, so that means the 0.44 could be somewhere here. This one is 0.44. Okay, the probability 0.44 is less than half, because they say less than, right? Less than. So that means it will be on the left side of the graph. And because it's only 0.44, haven't reached 0.5 yet. Okay, so I cannot say it didn't exceed 0.5. If it exceeded 0.5, then the shaded region will be here, somewhere here. If it is more than 0.5. But now because since it's not more than 0.5, so we know it's on the left side. Okay, so we can use either the table to solve, or we can use the calculator to solve. Okay, so in this case, what we know is because it is on the left side, if you are using the table, right, the answer that you get must be negative. Okay, please remember that it must be negative, otherwise you'll get wrong answer. Okay, so I'm going to use the calculator for now. Okay, so because it's already at the same format, when you're using the calculator, the sign must be less than. Okay, if you're using the table, then the sign must be more than. So that means in this case we have to change. If you want to use the table, we must change this. Okay, but let us use calculator first. Okay, I will show you all both. We use calculator first. So calculator, we have to key in this value in the calculator lah. So go to menu, go to standard deviation, distribution, go to distribution, click on inverse normal. Okay, inverse normal. So they ask you for three things. They ask you to write the area, the standard deviation, and the mean. So area and standard deviation and the mean is fixed. Okay, it is standard deviation is 1, mean is 0. This one is fixed. So you only have to key in the area. So in this case, the area is 0.44. So 0.44. I'm using the class Viz calculator for those who are also using the calculator. FX570EX. Okay, I'm using this. Okay, so just key in 0.44 in your calculator, the area section, and then this one you can leave it 10, and when you click equal, you should get a negative answer. Okay, so the calculator will give you the negative answer straight away, so you don't need to convert it. If you use the table, you have to convert it yourself. Okay, so we know that the calculator gives you negative 0.1509. Oh wait, 1509 round up, so 151. Okay, so this value will represent this part. So 25 minus mean over standard deviation. So we can rearrange this because we got two unknowns here. Equals to, I bring this up there, becomes times, so it becomes negative 0.151 standard deviation. Okay, so this is your first equation. Okay, we need two equations because we got two unknowns. We got the mean and the standard deviation to solve. Okay, so now what if we want to use the calculator? So if you want to use the calculator, we can assume that this 0.44 is this side. We can assume it is on this side. The 0.44 is on this side. Okay, we assume it's on this side. We find what is this value using the table. Now when we find the value, because we know this is not the original position, right? The original is here. So that when we find the value, that value we must change it to negative because we know it's on this side. So this side should be negative, here will be positive. Okay, but we want the negative, we don't want the positive. Okay, so let's find where is 0.44. So looking at the table, okay, let's see. We're looking for 0.44. So by the way, because we are doing the inverse method, right? We have to find the 0.44 from here. Okay, not from the side here, not from all this. We have to find from the middle. So 0.44, the closest we can get is here, 0.4404, and then you have to minus the 4. Okay, this 4 here you need to minus. So what is the value? 0.151. Okay, so we're gonna use that. So when you write the 0.151, make sure it is negative, because like I said, we want the negative side, we don't want the positive side. So once you write this, then it should be the same concept already. Okay, it should be the same concept as this, and then you get this equation. Clear? So this is how we get the first equation. Next we have to do for the second equation. So the second equation, what is given? The second equation is for obese. So they said that x more than 30 is obese. The probability is 0.12. So the second probability will be like this: p x more than 30 equals 0.12. Okay, so convert it to standard normal distribution. So convert it to z more than 30 minus mean over standard deviation equals 0.12. So if you're using the calculator, you have to change this, because like I said, the format of the calculator is either less than or less than equal to. Okay, cannot be more than. So if you are using 0.12, you can just straight away get it from the table. But if you're using calculator, I'm going to show you all first. Calculator, then we have to change it because this 0.12 is this side here. Let's say 0.12 is here. Let's say example here 0.12. Okay, so this was one of the value but we don't want this because the calculator is always to the left. Okay, so what we do is we take 1 means the whole thing. The probability of the whole bell shape is 1. Okay, so 1 minus 0.12, you should get everything on the left side. Okay, so if you're using calculator, you have to use you cannot use 0.12, you must take 1 minus 0.12. So I'm going to show you all how to do it. If you're using calculator, so it becomes pz less than 30 minus mean over standard deviation equals 1 minus 0.12. So you should get 0.88. Okay, 0.88. Okay, so when you key in your calculator, make sure you key in 0.88. Don't key in 0.12. If not, you will get the wrong answer. So let us try 0.88. So the same thing, like how I explained. Type 0.88 into the area section. Then the mean and standard deviation should be the same. Okay, 1 and the standard deviation is 1, mean is 0. So when you key that in, you will get your answer 1.175. 1.175. So 1.175 represents this. So 30 minus mean over standard deviation. Okay, so bring this up here, becomes times, so 30 minus mean equals 1.175 standard deviation. So this is the second equation. Now if you want to use the table, then you can just straight away use this. Okay, don't use the 0.88. okay, so let us find from the table 0.12. so 0.12, let me erase this. So 0.12, where is 0.12? 0.121. So this is the closest we can get. 0.121. okay, wait, is there any 0.123? So if I use 0.12, it is 121, so I will get 1.17, and then here you have to minus 10, right? Because we only want 0.12, not 121. So minus 10, so that means this one is 5. So 1.175. So it should be the same as the calculator. This one, 1.175. Okay, so you should end up getting this, and then you can continue as normal okay. So I hope you'll understand how to use the difference between calculator and also table. Okay, both will give you the answer. Alright, so now we have these two equations. We can do simultaneous. Okay, equation 1, equation 2. So what we can do is, since both are negative mean, the same coefficient, right? So we can actually eliminate the mean. How we do? We just minus. So that means I'm going to use the second equation minus the first equation. 25 minus mean equals negative 0.151. Okay, so 30 minus 25 is 5. Negative mean minus negative mean, eliminate, so no more mean. And then 1.175 minus negative 0.151, I should get 1.326. okay, so in other words, you are just adding okay. So let me check am I counting it correctly or not? Yeah, correct. So standard deviation will be 5 divided by 1.326. So the standard deviation should be 3.7707. okay, this is the standard deviation. Then we just substitute back into either one of this equation, either first or second, to get the mean. Okay, so if I use the second equation, so 25 minus mean equals negative 0.151 times standard deviation 3.7707. okay, so I bring the mean the other side and I bring this side so that I get a positive mean. So the mean will be 25 plus 0.151 times 3.7707. okay, so just key this in your calculator. You should get your answer 25.5694. okay, so you have found your mean and your standard deviation. Now we can answer the question that they're asking for. the question they're asking for is find the value of n. What is n? N is actually 1 over n is the probability for underweight. So underweight is less than 18.5, right? Less than 18.5 is underweight. So we know that we can form an equation. The probability of the weight index less than 18.5 should be equal to 1 over n. Okay, so convert this to standard. It will be 18.5 minus the mean is 25.5694 over standard deviation 3.7707. Okay, so you calculate this, what you will get is PZ less than negative 1.8749. Okay, so it's either you key this in your calculator to get the answer, or you can use the table. Okay, I'm going to show you all using the calculator first. So this time, same thing, go to menu, go to distribution, but instead of inverse normal, now you're looking for normal CD. Okay, look for normal CD. So normal CD, click on that. So the lower, okay, since this is negative and it's less than, right, that means the range is something like this. Let me draw the graph for you all. So negative 1.8749, so let's say it's here. Let's say this is negative 1.8749 and it is less than, right? So less than means everything here. So that means you are taking the smallest, that means the more left you go, the smaller the value is. Okay, so in your calculator, the lower, the part where they ask lower, right, you have to key in the smallest number you can find, the smallest number you can type. So in this case, I normally just write negative 1 to the power, times 10 to the power of 99. Okay, I normally just do that because I make it as small as possible. So that will be the lower. Then the upper, you can use this one, because it stops at the biggest number is negative 1.8749. So just type there, negative 1.8749. Okay, then the standard deviation is 1, mean is also same lah. Okay, no change. So you should get your answer 0.03. 0.03. So 0.03 equals 1 over n. Okay, so okay, before I continue, let me show you how to find using the table. Okay, now the table, there is no negative. Okay, there is no negative if you're using the table, so you have to flip it to the other side. Okay, the other side means if here is the negative 1.8749, you flip to the other side, it should be here, but this one will be positive 1.8749 because we want the right side. Okay, we want the right side. So the right side is the table is always on the right side. Okay, so 1.8749. Let us find that. So 1.8749 we have to find from the sides, from the sides here. Okay, not from the middle, please, because you are doing the normal way now. So 1.8 is here, 7 is here, and then 4.9. Maybe we can take 4.9. We can take 4 or 5 lah. Let's see. So this one here is this 0.0307, and then let's say we take 5 lah. Okay, so 4. 0.03074. Okay, so you can use 0.0374, which is also the same as ours lah. We also got 0.03. Okay, I'm using 0.03 so that the n value is easy to find lah. Okay, you can use the more decimal also, no problem. Okay, so let me write up here because I got no space. So now that we find 0.03 equals 1 over n, we want to find n, we just switch places between these two. So n equals 1 over 0.03. So n is equals 33.33. Okay, So that's how we solve this.